to our two amazing, my two amazing colleagues, Akshay and Achaleshwar. Akshay, would you like to take over and introduce yourself, and then
So,
Achaleshwar can go next?
hello everyone, my name is Akshay Jojare. I have 4+ years of IT experience and I'm working as an associate solution architect at Caelius. In addition to this, I am certified MuleSoft developer and platform architect. That's pretty much about myself. Over to you, Achaleshwar.
Hello everyone, I'm Achaleshwar Singh, currently working as Senior Solution Consultant in Caelius Consulting, and I'm having 3+ years of experience in integration, and I have worked on various projects and also worked on various domains. So, welcome to the Mohali Meetup. Thank you.
Akshay, if you're talking, you're on mute.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, sorry, no worries.
Safe harbor statement. Both the speakers and host are organizing this meetup at individual capacity. We are not representing our organizations here. This presentation is strictly for learning purpose only. We do not hold any responsibility that same solution will work for your business case. And the presentation is not meant for any promotion activities. Agenda for today's session, like first we are going to cover. First we are going to cover like what is cryptography. Then we are going to see types we have. Then we are going to check cryptography model in Mule 4. Then how to generate the public and private keys. What is the key pair? Then we will going to see PGP encryption using Mule 4. Then demo we will have. Then validation message authenticity using Checksum. Then we will have the trivia and Q&A. And we are going to present the references as well. So after the session, you can refer to that. So in general terms, what is cryptography? So crypto is just hiding something in like if you just divide the word, and graphy is the hidden messages. So cryptography is very old. It is used by various platforms like Java, SAP, and it's a technique of securing the information over the network. Let's understand with the example. Suppose we are working on a client project, and I'm dealing with the sensitive information like payment or employee. So it's not recommended to share that information in the plain text. So there may be chance of the misusing this information. To avoid this kind of the situation, it's good practice to send the data with encryption. Here cryptography plays very important role. We can perform encryption, decryption, message signing, validation. If any third party person tries to get access to our payload, it won't be readable. There is some latency issue. Okay, notice. Okay. Sorry, I was just turned it off my camera. No. So in the same example, we have mentioned our current is the plain text, and we are encrypting by using the cryptography module. Then it will get converted into the ciphertext. Then we are decrypting the same, and we will have the plain text back. This is how the cryptography works. Types of cryptography. First, we are going to see the symmetric key encryption and then asymmetric key encryption. Symmetric key encryption. Let's understand through the diagram first. So we will have the plain text. By using the private keys, we are going to encrypt the data and it will get converted into the ciphertext. And by using the same key, we will going to decrypt the data and we will have the plain text back. That's why it is also known as the secret key cryptography. In this, sender and receiver uses the same key for encryption and decryption. So that's why we call it is simple and faster, and it is less secure than asymmetric one. Let's see what is the asymmetric. It is also known as a public key cryptography. In this, sender and receiver uses different keys to encrypt the data. So that's why we call it more complex and more secure. Let's understand through the example. Here we are using the encryption. Then we will have the public key to encrypt the data. Then here we are using the two different keys. Like for the private key, we are going to decrypt the data. This is how we are going to achieve this asymmetric encryption. Methods of cryptography. There are mainly three methods of cryptography: PGP, XML, and GCE. So the PGP stands for pretty good privacy, XML, external markup language, and Java-based cryptography. So today we are going to mainly focus on the PGP one. let's understand what exactly the PGP here. PGP encryption provides the cryptography privacy authentication for data communication. It is used for the message signing. We are going to have the demo on this as well, data encryption and decryption. In addition to these, it combines data compression and encryption to secure the message. The compression reduces the size of payload, and obviously it will reducing the transmission time of your application. We have the example here. Look, Akshay will use a public key to encrypt the data and send it to the Achaleshwar. Now Achaleshwar will decrypt the data using the private keys. Ways of generating public and private keys. There are three mainly ways of generating the public and private key: Git, Bash, Kleopatra, key tool. So we are going to see the Kleopatra, and we have added the steps Git, Bash, and key tool. Kleopatra. Here first we have to click on the new key pair. Then we have to add the name and email. Then we are going to add the passphrase here. It's a kind of the password, okay, for the extra layer of security. Then it will get generate the fingerprint. Okay, so it is a kind of the link between public and private certificates. Okay, then we have to export our certificates. So I'll show you the in the demo as well. Then we have to back up the secret keys. Okay, let's jump onto the Kleopatra. You can download that software by just using the Kleopatra download. You can just go on this link, download the. Okay, you just have to click here and just have to choose any and just click here download. So it will get downloaded. So I have already downloaded the software. So I'm just opening that one. So here you have to click on the new key pair. Okay, key pair, it would be the CS sign key pair or the self-generated. So currently we are demonstrating or the self-generated. CS sign is like a vendor is providing the key pair to you. So that's kind of the, and usually it is recommended to use the CS sign key pairs in your project. Okay. So here I'm just clicking on the click personal open PGP and I'm just giving the name. It's optional, but it's a extra layer of security. Protect the key, protect the generated key pair with the passphrase. Okay, I'm just clicking on that. In the advanced setting, you will get the option like depend on your requirement, you will go the RSA, DSA, and other algorithm. And here the valid until. So it's the expiry date of your certificates. So you have to mention like when. So it's like you can give any date here. Like based on that, it will get expired. And if you disable, then it will be permanent. The certificates won't get expired. So this is how you can add this configuration. Then you have to click on creating. So passphrase, we have enabled that option. That's why it is asking the password for us. MuleSoft. Then click on OK. Take this one anyway. It will take some time. So here as well. So what is fingerprint? So it is a, I just mentioned like it is a link between your public and private certificates. So okay, so that we are going to cover deeply in the demo part. So here also you can just back up your public and private keys. So I'm just finishing here. From this way also you can export your certificates depend on the format which you want. Here I'm just exporting my public key. Okay. Give me a minute. In the Meetup, you can depend on the requirement, you can export in the .asc, .gpg, pgp format. So you just have to click save here. Similarly, backup secret keys. So it's a secret keys, so that the receiver will gonna use it. So from this key, public key, we are going to encrypt the data, and from this secret key, we are going to decrypt the data. Okay, this is how PGP will work. And we are going to use both the certificates like during our demo. Again, we have to provide the passphrase here. Okay. Both the certificates we have generated. So here we have exported both the certificates. So same certificates we are going to use in our application for the encryption and decryption purpose. Just we have to make sure we never share the secret keys with anyone. Like it is intended to for our end user. So that's why this is how we are going to decrypt the data. So we never share with the secret keys. This is how we can generate or export certificates It's a self-generated one. Okay. Okay, here are the main, we have mentioned the steps by using the Git. So you can run this command and you can export the, you can generate the self-generated certificates by using git bash. Here we have mentioned the command uses. Okay, here by using the key tool also you can export the same certificates. So but we found the Cleopatra is one of the simple, so that's why I prefer to use that one. And this is how the same, similarly whatever I mentioned during the demo. If I go back, so it was a kind of the asymmetric encryption we did, like we tried to demonstrate. Okay, we just exported the certificates. We will cover that in during the demo. So we have exported the public key. Now we have exported the private key. Okay, we are going to encrypt the data from by using this public key. Then we are decrypt the data by using these private keys. So let's go on the demo. Sorry, over to you, Achaleshwar. Thank you. Anyone has any question so far? Okay, I'll monitor the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akshay, for providing us deep understanding about the cryptography. Now let's start with the demo part. So let's see how we can enable cryptography in Mule 4. So whenever we start one project, so we are by default we are not having the cryptography module in our Mule palette. So we need to add that cryptography module in Mule palette. Let's see how we can add that Mule cryptography module. Let's create one simple project, that is a test project. Simply. So this is an empty project, and here we can see we are not having any cryptography module. So let's click on this search and exchange, and here need to write the cryptography. So now we are having the cryptography module, which we needs to add to our project. So now just click on this and click on finish. We are able to get this cryptography module in our Mule palette, and these are all the components which we will use to encrypt and decrypt our data. So now we are basically having all the projects are ready, which is having PGP, GC, and as well as XML. So we'll go through with all the demos and see how we can use these. So let's firstly start with the PGP one. So this is basically the simple PGP project. Uh, so here, if firstly we'll go to the listener, and I have set the path as encrypt, then move to the configuration for the PGP encryption, and in source my sources I have mentioned all the keys which we are going to use. I am having both public as well as the private key. Now click on the configuration. So while encrypting, we will use our public key to encrypt the data. So we are using here the public key, and we are assigning one key ID, that is just a name which will our key, and we are also having the fingerprint, which is just a short form of our key. And with the help of this fingerprint, we are able to get the which kind of key we are going to use. So, and additionally, we also need to mention Mule ID as well as the algorithm which we are going to use here. And I have also mentioned the key ID. And additionally, we are mention the payload, the content which we are going to encrypt. Let's debug this application and see how it will work. And additionally, if we talk about the decrypt part, Here we also need to mention the key which we are going to use, and here we are mentioning the private key, as we will decrypt that particular payload with the help of this private key. And additionally, we have also mentioned the same key ID which we have generated that, and also we are mentioning the fingerprint, and also we are passing the passphrase. Passphrase is basically used to access that particular private key. Let's wait for IPL to get deployed. Yeah, now it's deployed. Let's see how will work. I'm having this postman ready, so we'll send request. So here just we are passing a simple text that is hello world, welcome to the meetup, and we'll send this. Okay, let's see. So we are having this payload as a encrypted format, and we just need to decrypt this one. Let's copy this and send this over here to decrypt this message. We'll send this request, and we are getting hello world meetup. It's not. Let's try to redeploy this API. And additionally, I've also added this signing part. We can also sign our message, and by the using sign, we can basically validate whether we are getting the message from the particular source. We should get the message from the authorized source, which is having access to that particular message. And we can also, in the configuration, we can see and here in this configuration we need to mention both the things, public key and as well as the private key. So here we'll encrypt the message using the public key and sign the message using the private key. So now let's see, our API got deployed. Yeah. Now we'll use this one for decrypting. We just need to use the same configuration to decrypt this. Let's send the request to see. We are using this request, hello world, welcome to the MuleSoft crypto meetup, and we'll send this request. So this is the request which we got, and it's signed as well as the encrypted message. We'll use this one and decrypt this. So we are getting the same message, hello world, welcome to the MuleSoft crypto meetup. Yeah. So this is part from PGP, and we'll also see the checksum, how we can use the checksum in Mule 4. And let's move to the presentation once and see. So these are all the methods which we have used. Let's see move to the checksum. So basically, what checksum is? Checksum is basically a unique, I would say, a unique string which we will create from the data which we are having, and we will send that particular key along with the data, and that is used to check whether we are getting the same data or not, or some alteration would be there. So this is just the checksum, and here with the help of this flow diagram, we can see that here in the first stage, we are just send to calculate the checksum of the, send it to the, and the receiver will check whether the checksum is relates to that particular payload, and if yes, that means we are sending the same transfer that we are sending the data, that is completely free from any errors. But if the checksum, there is some difference between the original checksum as well as the calculated checksum, then there would be some error. So let's see with the help of an example. Let me deploy this one. So in this basically flow, we are firstly generating the checksum of the original payload which we are sending. That is a message which we want to encrypt. And after generating the checksum, we'll move to and encrypt that particular payload. And after that, we'll create a response. That is just a message. That is a PGP message. We'll use the breakpoints. So let's move to the postman and send the request. Here we are passing hello world, welcome to the crypto meetup. And we'll send this request. So here after this checksum, let's try to move on processor again and see what's the payload is. That is basically so this is the checksum key which we have generated from our payload. And after passing to this next processor, here we'll see our encrypted message as well as the, will basically add the both checksum as well as the payload. So here we are having the encrypted message as well as this checksum key, which is used to check whether we are sending the data that should be error free or there is some error. Let's copy the whole payload and send this one. So here we are getting hello world, welcome to the crypto meetup, which we have sent earlier. Now let's see, for example, if I have changed this to something, hello world, welcome to the crypto. So I'm sending the request again and complete this one. So now I'm just taking this message. This message is something different, not the same, and it's only having, this is an encrypted form of hello world, welcome to the crypto. Let's copy this and paste the message over there. I'm not taking the checksum, as we just need to check whether if some alteration would be there, then how it works. So let's send this now and we'll get some error. That is basically checksum mismatch. Checksum does not match SHA 256. So this was the checksum difference between the checksum which we are getting. So this is how the checksum works. Let's move to the JCE part. That is basically a Java cryptography encryption.
Ashleshwar, can you show the checksum configuration here?
Yeah, sure. It's completely the same. We just need to select the algorithm which we are going to use. We just need to select the algorithm. Else it's by default same. So nothing is there. And here it's completely same as per the PGP encryption.
Okay, could you show the configuration for that?
Yeah, please.
PGP. So open that fingerprint here.
Yeah. This is the same.
This fingerprint we have generated at the time of exporting our public and private keys. And this mule says key ID, you can add anything here. So
It's basically just a reference to our key.
yes, go ahead. Thank you.
Now let's move to the JCE encryption. So it's basically JCE encryption is divided into two parts. That is basically a password-based encryption as well as key-based encryption. Firstly, we'll check about the password-based encryption. And if we talk about its configuration, so here we just need to set the one password which we are going to use to encrypt our data. And here we are using the algorithm which we are going to use to encrypt our data. For example, we are passing the data, and with this algorithm, that is AES 128, we are encrypting our data, and we are using this password. That is, I have written something. So with the help of this password, we are going to decrypt our data. Let's try to debug this application again. Let's wait for it. Deployed. Okay. Yeah, now it's deployed. Let's see how it's working. So we are sending this password-based encryption, and here we are sending this message: "Hello world, welcome to the MuleSoft Meetup." We are sending this request, and while debugging this, we'll see one thing which is quite. So basically, after the input of data, we are getting something like this. This is in kind of message we are getting. This is encrypted message which we can't see what actual the message is. So to use this, we just need to convert this particular octet stream data to base 64. So let's go to one more processor again, and now we have converted this into base 64. So this is the base 64 which we are having. Now complete this one, and this is the base 64 data, encrypted data which we are having. And now try to decrypt this. So while decrypting, we firstly need to convert base64 to octet stream again. You can check it. We need to use this particular import library to use these binary files in our database, and we are you output as octet stream. We are converting from base64 to octet stream. Let's move one processor again and see we are getting the. We now basically convert it into octet stream. So this is the data, octet stream data. Now we'll decrypt this, and yeah, we'll get the same message. Message: "Hello world, welcome to the MuleSoft Meetup." Now see its configuration. So here just we the message, the password which we use to decrypt this. Let's check how the key-based encryption works. So we are also having this key-based encryption using the JCE technology, JCE encryption method. And here we are using this key store. Key store is basically a place where we are storing our keys, which is used to encrypt and decrypt our data. And we are mentioning the type, which kind of type of the keys which we are going to use, and it's JCEKS. That is Java cryptography encryption key store, and we are having the password. That password is used to access these keys. And here we are mentioning the same. We are having this aliases here. That is just a name which we are going to refer to our key, and we are using the password. So again, here we are getting the data in octet form and octet stream, and we need to convert it into a base 64. And again, we'll convert this base 64 into a octet stream. Then we will decrypt our data. So let's try to run this one and see how it's look. So here we are passing this message. Hello world, welcome to the MuleSoft Meetup. Sending this request, we are getting this response that is in message, and let's try to decrypt this one. And after sending the request, we are getting the response that is the original payload which we have encrypted. Now we are left with the XML part. We'll see how the XML we can encrypt the XML data. That is also a part of MuleSoft cryptography module, and here we are using the same configuration as of JCE, which we have used in JCE, and we are having the same key store type password, and we also need to configure it in a same way as we have done it in a JCE key-based encryption. So, but here we will send an XML request, and it will convert our XML request into a XML encrypted format. Let's try to debug this application. Let's wait for it to deploy. Yeah, now it's deployed. Let's see how it's work. And we are also adding some breakpoints over here. Let's try to send the request and see. So basically we are having this XML request which we are going to encrypt. Now this is having all the author, title, journal, price, publish date, description. I'm sending this sample to see how we can able to encrypt this. And after moving it further, we are able to encrypt this data. So that is in encrypted format. We can't able to see what actual the data is. So let's send the request again. Let's complete this request and see. So this is the whole XML which we got, and it's an encrypted format. We are not getting what's the original request is. So we'll copy this and send and try to decrypt this one. So yeah. So now we are able to decrypt this, and we got the same response which we have used earlier. We have passed. So this is the whole cryptography module which we can use, and there are certain more things like signing the data, which we can use it in everywhere. Like if we are using the XML, or we can use JCE, we can here use that signing part over here too, and also checksum we can also use. And the main thing for JCE and XML is that we can use it both symmetric as well as asymmetric. So like in configuration, we can see selecting here, we are having both the options, like using it asymmetric key or symmetric key. So this is the whole cryptography module which we are having. Now, guys, if you have any questions, you can please ask.
There is a there is one question, Achaleshwar. Is a password-based encryption is applicable for all the three algorithms?
No, password-based encryption is only for JCE1.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Guys, if you have any more questions, you can ask it in chat. We'll
Okay.
try to.
Okay, you can stop the sharing. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible to you all. My screen is visible.
Yes, we can see it,
Okay,
Akshay.
there was a one question like whether we can encrypt the JSON payload or not. So I just tried Sudhir for you. So we have just added the JSON payload here, and we have just sent the request. Okay, I will send it again, and by using the PGP encrypt, so we have encrypted that payload. Okay, let me do that for you again. Okay, so similarly, otherwise, yeah. So from this way, you can encrypt the any kind of the message. There is no limitation like you will just encrypt the JSON string or anything. You can encrypt the any message here. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing like Sudhir wanted to know what was the fingerprint. Okay, so while exporting the certificates, we do you remember like we created a new key pair. Okay, then we just created a personal open PGP. We have given our credential. Let me give it again. Okay, so it's option, but it's a good practice to enable the passphrase here. In the advanced setting, you can see there are various algorithms and the valid until. Okay, you can select, and when you create the your key value pair, then so you will see the fingerprint here. It is nothing but the link between your private and public certificates. Okay, so from this key pair, we can generate two types of the certificates. So if you see here, there is an option send public key and backup the private certificates. So just finish it and right click here. You can just export the certificates. Okay, you can just back up your secret keys and backup your security and backup your public key. So from this way, you can export the certificates and you can use that passphrase, sorry, fingerprint. So this is how we can use. Yeah. Any more question, guys? So do we have to cover that?
Akshay, there is a question under Q&A. If you can go ahead and.
Sure. Uday is asking like how we are using the exported certificates. Okay, okay, I can cover that. So similarly, suppose so those certificates, let me generate for you again. Right, you just have to click export. Depending on the format you can give here. I will just click. I will just export it on my desktop. So, okay, I just deleted the old one. You can select GPG, PGP, depend on your requirement. Just click here, save. It's a public certificate, like here, like it's already showing there. Just export it. Then again, you have to click on the same. You just have to back up your secret keys. It's nothing but your secret keys. So just similarly with the same format, you have to back up your secret keys. Okay. So we have exported two certificates here. Similarly, what we did in the demo, it will ask again the passphrase. If you enable that option, then you just have to. Okay. So MuleSoft I had added that. Okay. So our both certificates got generated now. Okay, these are our public and private secret keys. So similarly, we just copied those certificates and we have added under SRC main resources. So we are not using the local path here. Okay, here you can see we have added the Mule private in the GPG format and Mule public into the GPG format. While encrypting, we are going to use this public certificate. Similarly, let's open this connector configuration. Okay. Similarly, we have added here configuration that Achaleshwar showed. So here inside the configuration, you can see. So here, sorry. So here we have given the public certificates. So it is a sorry. It is a PGP sign and test and PGP testing. I just opened another one. So while encrypting, you will require only the public certificates. Mule underscore public.gpg. Same certificates is available under SRC main resources. Mule public GPG. So that we have added, and we have just given the key ID here and fingerprint. Okay, that is the fingerprint is nothing but the link between both the certificates. So it should identify like how they are both are related to each other. And similarly, the private certificates. So private certificate we are going to use for the decryption purpose. Okay, here we have added the Mule private certificates, and we have added the Mule key, the same key which we have added at the time of the encryption. We have given the fingerprint, and we need to enter the passphrase here. Okay, while decrypting the data. And Mule underscore private, we have added this certificate. We have just given the path. This is how you are going to decrypt the data. Any more question, Lavina, in the chat?
Yes, Akshay, there's one more question under Q&A from Ravi. He's asking, is it possible to encrypt the whole file instead of the content?
Sorry, where exactly the question?
So when you go under the Q&A tab, you have a general
Okay.
tab. Yeah, right there. Perfect.
Is it possible to encrypt the whole file instead of the content? Yes, it's possible. Okay. Can you throw some more light on the key store? Okay. That's how just I demonstrate on that. Like it's a kind of the public and private certificates that both the similar concept we are using here, and they for encryption purpose only we have used the public certificates. Okay, you can call it the key store and trust store as well. So no worries for that. For this, we have used for encryption, we have used only the private public certificate, and for decryption, we have used the private certificates. This is how you can encrypt and decrypt the data. Do the self-signed certs gets overridden by CloudHub's own certificates every time after deployment to the CloudHub? No, we didn't find anything like that. So we have used the certificates and we didn't find any issue in our case. How to export the certificates? Uday, I have just covered that topic. Like you just have to right click on the key pairs. So it's a self-generated key pairs and you have to export. There is an export option. Okay. And by this way, you have to just click on save and it will get exported in your folder. So this is how you can generate the export the public and private keys. Okay. I don't think so. There is a question. Okay. So we can go ahead, Lavina, right? So here we have provided the references. Okay. So by using like you can explore more on this, and you can connect with me or the LinkedIn. Like if you have any further questions, so we can take there. So here we have added the references section. So Lavina, can we go for the trivia if there is no
Yes.
question from audience?
And this, just a thing for everyone, this deck is going to be uploaded onto the repository at MuleSoft, so it'll be easy for everyone to access it. I do know someone asked us regarding sharing with them the recording of this meetup, and we're just going to, the file size being so big, we're going to figure out what would be the best way so that we're not kind of blocking into anyone's mailbox. So we'll figure that out and we'll have that sent over as well.
Sure, definitely. Yeah. Okay, then let's go for the trivia, guys. And Achaleshwar, please monitor the chat. Like whoever give the first answer, then the he or she would be the winner. Okay.
Sure.
So just we are starting trivia quiz. So this is our first question. I hope it's a simple one on the checksum. I hope we got a ample amount of responses. So do we have winner, Ashleshwar? So is there anyone? Okay, okay. Uh, okay, yeah, you can just announce what's the answer for this and who is the winner. If Avnish is there, so we can.
So, yeah, answer for this question is the second, that is accepted.
Okay, answer is accepted. And please check who has given the first answer.
So do we need to announce?
Yeah, just there. We will require their email ID. So just check who has given the first answer. Lavina, you can also monitor.
Yes, please.
Kajal Agarwal is the
Just
first one to answer the right in the chat.
Kajal
Okay, guys.
Agrawal
Then
is the one who answered the correct.
Kajal Agrawal.
Kajal
Okay.
Agarwal, yeah.
Congrats, Kajal. So shall we go for the second question then? Okay. So second quiz for the day. What type of encryption is PGP? It's pretty simple that we have covered like at initial phase of the. I hope we have the winner. Achaleshwar, Lavina, you can announce. Anil. Achaleshwar, please tell us the answer for this.
Puliti is the winner for this question, so he answered the
Okay.
right one.
What's the right
So answer
one?
for this is asymmetric. So PGP is the asymmetric encryption.
Yeah. You guys remember we use the two different kind of keys while encryption and decrypting the data. So we use the public key to encrypt our payload, and we use the private key for a private or secret key you can call for decryption purpose. So this is so PGP will come under the asymmetric, and it is a more secure than the symmetric one. Okay. Okay. Then congrats. Let's go ahead for the third and last quiz for this session. I hope you guys are ready. So difference between symmetric and asymmetric. Please type fast in the chat. Ashlesha or Anil, are we having winner for this question?
So the first one who provided the right answer for this is Nilesh Pandey.
Dinesh Pandey, congratulations. Lavina, I guess we need their email ID, right, for this?
Please, I'm going to ping my email ID here. Please feel free to go ahead and share your email ID so we can go ahead and share the same with MuleSoft and send the training vouchers over to you all.
Thank you. Ashlesha, please note down the winners.
Yeah, written down the names.
Thank you.
Just Nilesh, Kajal, just email me your email IDs and I can go ahead and send the vouchers over.
Okay, yeah, this is the what's next. Like you can write, you can give your valuable feedback to improve our program. Okay, and thank you. This is all about the cryptography, and let us know if you have any question, and you can connect or you can connect with me or the LinkedIn. Like if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. Okay. Thank you guys. So Lavina, let's
Yeah.
wrap up.
Thank you so much.